The respiratory system has two functional components. The first component is the respiratory tract for transport of inspired and expired gases between the atmosphere and the circulatory system, and secondly, the interface for diffusion of gases between the atmosphere and the blood. Select label. Which respiratory tract transport gases in and out of the lungs? Answer: the respiratory tracts are the nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles. The trachea divides into left and right bronchus, which supply the lungs. The bronchus then further divides and ramifies or branches out into numerous bronchioles. The bronchioles finally terminate into the alveoli. Click alveoli. What happens when the air reaches the alveoli? Answer: gaseous exchange occurs. The lungs of mammals are packed with millions of alveoli, tiny sacs clustered like grapes. In human, there are about 300 million alveoli in each lung, and the total surface area available for gaseous exchange is almost 40 times the surface area of the body. What other structures indicate that alveoli are the site for gaseous exchange? Answer: the alveoli are surrounded by a network of blood capillaries. Select deoxygenated blood. How does the deoxygenated blood reach the alveoli? Answer: the deoxygenated blood reaches the alveoli via the pulmonary artery. Select oxygenated blood. How does the oxygenated blood leave the alveoli? Answer: the oxygenated blood leaves the alveoli via the pulmonary vein. Click alveoli to see its detailed structure. What is the structure labeled A? Answer: alveolar sac. How many layers of cells form the lining? Answer: one layer. What type of cells forms the alveolar lining? Answer: squamous epithelium. Note that there are two types of epithelium, P1 and P2, which form the alveolar lining. P1 is a flattened cell, and P2 has a large rounded nucleus. P1 cells provide an extremely thin gaseous diffusion layer. P2 secretes a surface active material called surfactant, which reduces surface tension within the alveoli, preventing alveola from collapsing during expiration. Click capillary network. The detailed structure shows a longitudinal section of a capillary, with labeled cells surrounding an alveolar sac. What are cells E? Answer: endothelial cells. The capillary wall consists of a single layer of thin flattened endothelium cells. Since the alveolar air and the capillary blood are separated by only two cell layers, the distance between the air and blood is only 0.5 to 1.5 micrometers, allowing for the rapid exchange of gases by diffusion. What is the function of the moisture around the alveolar epithelium? Answer: the oxygen in the inspired air dissolves in the moisture and diffuses across the endothelium of the capillary into the erythrocyte. Summary. The respiratory tract consists of the nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles. Gaseous exchange occurs at the alveoli. The alveolar wall is made up of a single layer of squamous epithelium cells. Flattened endothelial cells line up the capillary wall. The thin layer of alveolar wall and the rich network of blood capillaries enhance gaseous exchange between the alveolar sac and the blood. Deoxygenated blood enters the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. Oxygenated blood leaves the lungs through the pulmonary vein.